Right now, someone dumber than you is getting everything you wanted. Not because they worked harder, because they understood the game sooner. They learned the one rule no one wants to hear. Life is not a test of facts, it's a fight over frames. If you control the frame, you don't need to be right. You just need to be first, calm, and final. That is what this will give you. Not trivia, an operating system. Call it dangerous intelligence. Dangerous because it moves people without asking. Dangerous because it rearranges rooms from the inside out. Dangerous because once you see how it works, you can't unsee it. You thought smart was memory and speed. It isn't. It's leverage, turning tiny inputs into heavy outcomes. Machiavelli wrote for men who had to stay alive in a culture of knives and smiles. He didn't worship knowledge, he worshiped advantage. Here's the spine you will install. See the game, name the game, change the game. You will not learn more facts. You will learn the 5 levers that make facts obey you. Frames, incentives, timing, information, endings. Master those and you will look prophetic while doing nothing mystical. You'll look lucky because you engineered the coin toss. Start with frames. Frames decide what counts as true before anyone speaks. Whoever defines the question wins the answer. The weak answer the question given. The strong rewrite the question and answer that. You think this is rhetoric. It's architecture. Don't answer. Rewrite. Then you present doors, not paragraphs. Reduce scope to match your number, or keep scope at my rate. Silence. You didn't argue fairness. You replaced it with physics. Frames live in the first 5 seconds and in the last 5 seconds. The beginning sets the lane. The ending sets the legend. You will rule both. Begin like this. Pause at the threshold. Exhale. Lower your pitch by 1 note. Hands still. Look once. Exits, the decision owner, the one who thinks they are. Signer present. Budget on table. Then silence. Let them pay with attention. End like this. Echo once. Funds Friday. Stand, leave, no corridor counseling. No softening speech. The last 5 seconds are the memory they keep. Own them. Now incentives. People don't do what they say, they do what pays. Machiavelli knew that a good man without the right incentive becomes a thief with a reason. Stop listening to words. Price the motives. Everyone in your orbit runs one of 3 engines: status, safety, or reward. Status wants to look important. Safety wants not to be blamed. Reward wants money or access. Talk to safety with shields. Talk to status with spotlight. Talk to reward with math. When a room resists, it's never about your idea. It's about someone's status dying, someone's safety shaking, or someone's reward shrinking. Identify the engine. Feed it without surrendering the mission. Now timing. The right move at the wrong time is the wrong move. Most people are clock blind. They act when they are anxious, not when the opponent is exposed. Dangerous intelligence waits like winter and strikes like noon. You do it by learning the 4 clocks. The room clock. How fast the conversation wants to go. When it speeds, you slow by 1/3. When it drags, you compress to a decision. Your pace shames their panic. The political clock. Who needs a win before a date? Board meetings, quarterly numbers, release windows. Offer clean, fast victories to people with calendars on fire. The budget clock. Money isn't real until it is allocated. If it's not allocated, you're arguing with air. The personal clock. You will want to move when you feel threatened. Don't. Exhale before any commitment. Answer on the breath leaving your body, never when it's rushing in. Timing also means harnessing compounding. Small improvements enforced forever. You think you need big leaps. You need floors that never fall. Set 3 floors right now. Minimum rate you accept, minimum standard you ship, minimum boundaries you enforce. Raise one floor by 10% every month. Don't announce it, live it. Time will make you look brilliant. You're just heavy. Information next. People think information is power. It is if you control the path it travels. You will stop giving answers for free. You will start charging curiosity a toll. If the decision owner isn't present, your absence will be. You don't reveal maps to tourists. They pay to hold the paper. If they cannot answer, you don't explain. You'll also stop drowning in useless data. You only need 4 facts before you move. Owner, budget, constraint, deadline. Owner, the person who signs. Budget, the number today. Constraint, the thing you must protect. Deadline, the real date, not the feeling. If 2 are missing, you do not have a meeting. You have theater. You don't perform. You leave. Finally, endings. Endings are weapons. Rooms fear the person who can end without heat. That fear becomes respect. That respect becomes compliance. End twice and publish once. And a call at the second interruption or the second mock. No names, no drama, law, not gossip. Endings also create demand. Every no that cites price becomes a floor raise for the next opening. Every no that cites timing becomes a wait list you publish on Friday. You don't chase after rejection. You show up with a result somewhere else and let the rumor travel. Put the levers together and you get the rule that makes you look scary smart. Never argue outcomes inside someone else's frame. Define the frame. Price the incentives. Use the clocks. Control the toll. And clean. You need drills, not platitudes. Rituals that turn this into muscle. Drill 1. The 10-second boot. Before every room. Exhale. Lower pitch. Widen focus. Hands still. Slow step. 1 tilt. Kill hedges. No just, maybe, I think, sorry, quick one, if that makes sense. Name battlefield, decision or definition. 1 beat of silence. Speak. Drill 2. The 5-word verdict. 3 times a day. Take a live decision. Compressed to 5-7 words. Funds Friday. Rush or standard. Phase 2 or add-on. Say it out loud. Hold 5 seconds. Do not scratch. Silence will pump the truth up like water in a well. Drill 4. The exit rep. Weekly. And one thing early when the law is mocked. The meandering call, the back channel triangle, the panel bait. Stand. Leave. Exits are sermons for your nerves. They teach you you won't die. If your page is empty, your power leaked. You want fieldcraft? The scenes you face tomorrow will look different, but the pattern is the same. Here's how you cut through all of them. We can reduce scope to match your number or keep scope at my rate. Silence. Repeat once, then end if they repeat again. We discuss goals, constraints, budget. Silence. If they hesitate on budget, they're not buyers, they're tourists. Who owns the decision? What metric and date earn the title? Silence. I'll accept with title and comp or keep current scope. Scene. Family guilt. Them. Real family bends. I don't do unscoped favors. Outcome and deadline or Tuesday at 2, Thursday at 10. You are building more than sharp replies. You are building an aura that bends rooms because it is consistent. Consistency is the secret to looking brilliant. You will sound simple while others sound scattered. Simple wins because it's heavy. Write your rules on a single page. Deposit before calendar. No signer, no meeting. 2 windows weekly. Rush is triple. Process follows deposit. Changes are add-ons. 1 channel for decisions. Meetings end at the second interruption. Read them before the room that scares you. Your biology obeys the last sentence you believed. Common traps that break dangerous intelligence. Apology disguised as politeness. Transparency used as extraction. Urgency priced at zero. Debate without a judge. Meetings without owners. Work without floors. Kill them by schedule. Monday morning, publish openings. Wednesday, publish one rule. Thursday, end something early. Friday, raise a floor by 10%. You don't need a new persona. You need a repeatable pattern. Patterns create rumor. Rumor creates gravity. You want to read minds? Stop. Read incentives. Read clocks. Read endings. You want to look ahead? Stop. Exhale first, speak on the leaving breath, drop one note. You think this is cold? It isn't. It's care with a gate. Care without a gate becomes a crime scene. Again. Exhale on the last word. Hold 5 seconds of quiet. That quiet is the first evidence that your frame is now the room's. What happens next is simple. Rooms bring signers. Budgets stop hiding. Urgency pays rent. People stop testing your edge because they can finally feel it. You will stack this base into prediction, turning tiny tales into strategic timing, making opponents reveal their plans, using silence to raise your price, and installing traps that pay you whether they say yes or no. Watch closely. Right now, you mistake reaction for intelligence. You wait for a move, then scramble to look clever. That's not smart. Smart is seeing the move before it lands and pricing it before it speaks. You learned the base in part 1. Frames, incentives, timing, information, endings. Now we weaponize prediction. You're going to read tales, trap choices, and turn silence into money. Not by magic, by mechanics. Start with tales. People leak their next action in 4 ways: pace, filler, boundary tests, and clock talk. Pace. When someone speeds up, they're either hiding a weakness or forcing you into one. Don't match. Slow by a third. Your calm exposes their rush as need. Every filler is either fear or manipulation, translated into a ledger item. They aren't requests, they're probes. Diagnostic is X. None of those are dates. Ask for a timestamp. Silence after. Vagueness dies when the calendar arrives. You want advanced reads? Log 5 signals in the first 2 minutes. Who answers first? Who interrupts? Who says we but means I? Who asks for value without naming a number? Who mentions reputation, not results? The interrupter is often insecure status. The we that hides I is the shadow owner. The value talker without numbers is fishing for free work. Treat each with the proper gate. Next, you trap choices so you get paid whether they say yes or no. That's real prediction. Designing a board where both outcomes move you forward. You sell fit. The diagnostic is X. We map objective, risk, scope. If they buy, you get clarity and cash. If they refuse, you saved a day and raised your filter. Both pay. Trap 2, the pilot island. Partnerships die in dreamland. You move them to a small island with sharp edges. Pilot, 30 days, 1 KPI. If they hit go, you scale with proof. Trap 3, the expiring offer. Offer expires Friday. If they act, you own tempo. If they stall, you raise your floor and put them on a wait list. You never chase, you compound. Trap 4, the scope price gate. They ask for discount, you never defend. We can reduce scope to match your number or keep scope at my rate. If they choose less, margin holds. If they choose full, rate holds. If they choose debate, you end. Every fork feeds you. Trap 5, the one-channel law. Back-channel quick alignments are where your work goes to die. One channel, one decision. If they cooperate, clarity arrives. If they refuse, the project dies early at low cost. Nothing is more profitable than a clean no on day one. Now silence. Silence is not a pause, it's a lever. Used right, it lifts your price, your status, and your calendar. Silence raises price three ways. It forces them to negotiate with themselves. It makes your number feel like weather, not opinion. It makes urgency look immature. Deliver your number once. Stop. Count to 5 slowly in your head. Let them talk. They will fill the space with concessions, not because you're manipulative, but because humans fear vacuum more than cost. Silence raises status when used at the edges of sentences. 2 beats before a question, 5 beats after a verdict. Your stillness is punctuation they cannot ignore. It tells the room you are finished while they are still performing. Silence controls the calendar when you echo and vanish. Funds Friday. Send. Your anxiety is not a stakeholder. Prediction also means making opponents reveal their plans without a fight. Run these 4 tools until they live in your throat. Mirror and mute. Repeat their last decisive word as a question. Silence. They'll reveal the number, the fear, or the politics. Cold read. State the maneuver you smell. Silence. If right, they surrender. If wrong, they correct you with useful detail. Timestamp. Kill fog with time. Silence. Stories shrink under dates. Silence. No signer, no meeting. Your absence will be present until authority is. You want to look prophetic? Stop guessing. Force reality into view. Now traps that create yield from rejection. Rejection isn't defeat, it's data. Turn it into gravity. Clarify path back. If cost remains the priority, X fits. Withdraw. No follow-ups, no proof dumps. You vanish into work. Stone, not story. Elevate. Raise your floor by 5–10% for the next opening. Not petulance, proof. Return. If they come back, they will. You don't gloat. Glad priority shifted. New rate is X. Deposit Friday. This is how rejection makes you rarer instead of smaller. Now to prediction under fire. Messy stacks where people used to strip you. Stack. Low anchor. Process fishing plus net 60. Them. Cut your price. Walk us through process. You. We can reduce scope to match your number or keep scope at my rate. Silence. We discuss goals, constraints, budget. Silence. Silence. If they cry policy, you answer with yours. Policies are peers, not gods. You. Who owns the decision? Stand. Leave. Exits outlive applause. Stack. Boss moralizing, off the record, scope laundry. Them. Be a team player. Take extra scope now, title later. You. What metric and date earn the title? Silence. I'll accept with title and comp, or keep current scope. One channel, one decision. Hallways are closed. You. Thank you for trusting me. Rush review exists. If they can't, outcome and deadline next week, Tuesday 2 or Thursday 10. Love stays. Leak stops. Fieldcraft to engineer obedience without speeches. Terrain theft. Move every fight off talk and onto paper, one-pager, calendar, windows, or money, deposit. Talk is their advantage. Structure is yours. Clock theft. Decision Friday. If they can't live with clocks, they love chaos. Don't marry them. Gates aren't cruelty. They're clarity. Scarcity signaling. Publish openings and outcomes. Hide everything else. Mystery plus reliability is the rarest currency in any market. Consequences. First mock, restate law once. Second mock, end. No third. Inconsistent punishment trains rebellion. You'll want numbers to prove you're getting smarter, not louder. Track these every Friday. Prediction index. Percent of meetings where you named owner, budget, constraint, and deadline in the first 10 minutes. Target greater than 80%. Silence lift. Average seconds you held after stating rate and the rate you closed at versus floor. Target 5 seconds. Close at or above floor. Door discipline. Percent of requests answered with a binary first. Target rising. Signer rate. Percent of meetings with the decision owner present. Target greater than 80%. Scope seal. Percent of changes priced or moved to phase 2. Target 100. After no gravity. Percent of inbound inquiries referencing outcomes you published post-decline. Target weekly. 2 dips in a row? You're being captured. Correct in 24 hours. Raise the floor. Add the clause. Close the corridor. End the thread. Publish an outcome. Drills to hardwire prediction until it runs without you. The 30-minute recon. Before any big room, get 4 facts. Owner, budget, constraint, deadline. If you don't have 3, the meeting is a mirage. Reschedule or sell the diagnostic. The 5 signal read. First 2 minutes, spot the interrupter, the shadow owner, we, that means I, the value talker with no number, the clack talker with no date, the person who writes during decisions, often the real operator. Aim your questions at them. The door reflex day. All day, every ask meets a binary before a sentence. You're teaching your mouth to lead and your nerves to relax. The hourglass walk. Anytime urgency spikes, slow your movement by a third. Speak on the exhale. Drop your first word by a note. Pace is a leash. Hold it. The paper echo. After any yes, write 1 line. Funds Friday. 1 link, 1 date, then vanish. Silence becomes progress. The ledger night. 2 lines only. If blank, tomorrow is already stealing. Your written voice must match your live voice, or you will be priced by the weaker one. Body, bone. 2 sentences, 1 link, 1 date, send. No emoji to buy approval. Hope is not a policy. You're worried this will make you look cold. To people who fed on your explanations, it will. To rooms that build, it will feel like oxygen. Because dangerous intelligence isn't cruelty, it's custody. Custody of pace, of frames, of clocks, of doors, of endings. Again, low, final. 5 seconds of quiet. This is how you start looking lucky on purpose. You set the frame before the facts. You read incentives before the words. You hold the clock while others beg it to slow. You make curiosity pay toll. You end clean and let endings do the marketing. You'll fuse prediction with presence to build a legend. Status without bragging, punishment without noise, absence that weighs more than speeches. And we'll close with the command that freezes rooms in 1 breath. Watch closely. Right now, you still think being clever is the point. Clever wins applause. Gravity wins rooms. Dangerously smart isn't about out-talking people. It's about making your presence more expensive to ignore than their noise is to hear. When that happens, you don't persuade. You bend. This is the final forge. You'll weld everything from before, frames, incentives, clocks, tolls, endings, prediction, into a legend that travels without you. Status without bragging, punishment without noise, absence heavier than speeches. First, status. Real status isn't volume or followers, it's precedence. This is how it goes with you. Repeat it so often the room obeys it to save time. Precedence is a rumor backed by receipts. Build it with 3 stones, 2 positions, 5 precedents. Openings, Tuesday 2, Thursday 10. Rules, deposit before calendar. No signer, no meeting. Process follows deposit. Rush is triple. Positions, how you occupy space. Arrive at O2, not OO. Inevitability, not doorbell. Sit where you see the door and the signer. Your line of sight is your line of power. Phone face down, off. You are not on call for your insecurity. Stand only to end. Standing is a gavel. Use it for the close. Precedence, non-negotiable law that the room eventually enforces for you. Second mock ends the meeting. Price is never defended. Scope is negotiable. No signer, no meeting. No process before deposit. Outcomes published, not essays. Keep these 5 for a month and watch what happens. People start warning each other about you. Second mock ends the meeting. Price is never defended. Scope is negotiable. No signer, no meeting. No process before deposit. Outcomes published, not essays. Keep these 5 for a month and watch what happens. People start warning each other about you. That whisper is free security. You earned it with endings. Second, punishment. Punishment isn't anger. Anger is cheap. Punishment is math. Use the ladder of quiet consequence. Rung 1. Restate law once. That's phase 2 or an add-on. Rush exists at triple. Rung 2. Remove access. One channel, one decision. Rung 3. Delay their clock. Offer expires Friday. Rung 4. Price the exception. Rung 5. End. We're off mission. Stand, leave. No sarcasm, no spiking the ball, no moral lecture, gravity only. The person who can end without heat becomes the person no one wants to test twice. Third, absence. Most people vanish to avoid conflict and lose status. You will vanish to manufacture it. Absence protocol. Echo, exit, evidence. Echo once. Funds Friday. One link, one date. Exit for a defined window. Not to punish, to work. Evidence on schedule. Deliverable or milestone. Short and stone. Repeat this enough and your silence signals progress, not permission. That is how absence turns into weight. Now range. Range is the proof that your standards are chosen, not brittle. Chosen silence, not sulking. Chosen speed, not panic. Chosen generosity, not bribery. Show range with controlled exceptions. Mercy with a meter. Approve one rush this month, at triple on your terms. Everyone learns speed is real but expensive. Unexpected upgrade inside scope. Added X. Make generosity rare and scheduled so it becomes myth, not expectation. Admit fault, upgrade policy. I over-explained last quarter. Law that learns is law that lasts. Now we hard bind these into your day so you can't fall out when heat hits. The 10-second boot, every threshold. Exhale, drop your pitch by a note. Widen focus. Hand still. Walk 20% slower. Tilt once, then level. Drop hedges. No just, maybe, I think, sorry, quick one, if that makes sense. Hold one beat of silence. Speak. 2-sentence decree. Every decision. Verdict in less than 2 sentences. One link, one date. Door reflex, all day. Every ask gets a binary before a sentence. Repeat once. If they refuse twice, end. Exit rep. Daily is possible, weekly at minimum. End one thing early when law is mocked. Calm, surgical. Stand, leave. Blank page means your power leaked. Fix tomorrow before breakfast. You want to build legend without bragging? Artifacts do it. Artifacts that defend you while you sleep. One-page policy. Pen it, keep it plain. 2 windows, 5 rules, 3 doors. Nothing else. Diagnostic. Paid, short, non-refundable, credit to delivery. The diagnostic is X. We map objective, risk, scope. This moves you from talk to paper and filters theater from buyers. Body. Funds Friday. Start Monday. Scope A under constraint B. Rush at triple. You removed 90% of the places defense sneaks in. No names, no heat. Culture learns faster from rules than from rants. Let's run the ugly stacks where legends are made. Stack 1. Rival grandstands, procurement undercuts. Moderator hunts for drama. You do not join their circus. Tempo. Decision Friday. Terms. Reduce scope to match your number or keep scope at my rate. If mocked, that's incorrect. Stand. Leave. Exits outlive comebacks. Stack 2. Boss moralizes, tries to launder scope, invites you to the hallway. Be a team player. Take more scope now, title later. You. What metric and date earn the title? One channel, one decision. I'll accept with title and comp, or keep current scope. You closed the corridor and kept the throne. Stack 3. Family guilt, nostalgia, midnight panic. Thank you for trusting me. Rush review exists. If they can't, outcome and deadline next week, Tuesday 2 or Thursday 10. Love stays. Leak stops. Stack 4. Enterprise grind. Net 60. Process fishing. That's phase 2 or an add-on. Policy versus policy. Let math talk while you stay quiet. Daily tempo that makes your reputation work harder than your mouth. Monday. Gate broadcast. Openings, Tuesday 2, Thursday 10. You've just turned your calendar into a crown. Evidence talks, you shut up. Wednesday, policy line. One sentence of law you enforced. Deposit before calendar, one channel, rush priced. The market learns, the wrong rooms leave early. Thursday, ending rep. End one thread early. Exits are public sermons with long half-lives. Friday, floor tick. Raise one minimum by 5 to 10%. You worry you'll look cold. To people who fed on your explanations, you will. To people who build, you will feel like oxygen. Because the soul of dangerous smarts is custody. Of pace, of doors, of clocks, of endings. Not cruelty. Custody. Keep yourself honest with numbers, not moods. Status orbit. How many meetings began with your verdict in the first 15 seconds? Target rising. Gate integrity. Percent of meetings with signer present. Percent with deposit before work. Target. Greater than 80% signer, 100 deposit. Consequences consistency. Of second mocks that led to an ending divided by total mocks. 0. Absent signal. Of on-time deliveries without just checking in messages sent by you. Target rising. After no gravity. Of inbound citing outcomes you posted after a decline. Target weekly. Price integrity. Percent of deals at or above floor. Percent of rush at triple. Target 100% or rising. 2 dips in a row. You're being captured. Correct in 24 hours. Raise the floor. Add the clause. Close the corridor. End the thread. Publish an outcome. You want one-breath scripts that freeze the room. Scope or date. Speed or price. Best or earliest. That's phase 2 or an add-on. That's incorrect. We're off mission. Because is a bribe you used to pay to be allowed to be clear. You don't pay it anymore. Write your law on one page and read it before the rooms that make your hands shake. Deposit before calendar. No signer, no meeting. 2 windows weekly. Rush is triple. Process follows deposit. Changes are add-ons. 1 channel for decisions. Meetings end at the second interruption. Tape it where your fear can't pretend it forgot. You want it to be dangerously smart. This is what it looks like. You don't chase facts. You set frames. You don't decipher feelings. You price incentives. You don't plead with time. You set clocks. You don't give away maps. You charge toll. You don't argue. You end. You don't react. You predict. You don't perform. You publish stones. You don't punish with noise. You punish with absence. You don't explain your value. The room explains it to itself because it's cheaper than fighting you. Say the creed, slow and final, so your bones accept it as oxygen. I don't sell my peace to buy your approval. I don't sell my hours to buy your hope. I don't sell my standards to buy your story. I choose terrain. I choose timing. I choose terms. Exhale. Hold 5 seconds of quiet. That silence is the vault door closing. Final command. Like this video if you're done trying to look smart in rooms built to keep you small. Subscribe if you're ready to become the kind of person that can't rush, can't price down, and can never move without your consent. Because you set the frame, own the clock, and write the bill. Because this isn't self-help, this is war.